Um, and then we had understood how we will be able to like what actually are the different phases, right? What are the list of vulnerabilities which are available, and how when it comes to our iOS, right, how actually the signing process will be going on, right? What actually will be whenever there is the security which is implemented from the hardware device, how actually the kernel and all of those things are protected, right? So mostly we had understood the basics of iOS, right? What actually is the architecture, how the signing process goes on, what are the contents which will be available within the IPF file, right? So all of those specific things we had understood. Then in the next phase, we had understood how we can jailbreak our particular device, right? So I had shown within the session itself that how we can jailbreak, like showing the real time jailbreak. Now, in today's session, the main agenda is to jailbreak your devices, right? So basically, we will be jailbreaking your device, and if time permits, we will understand what all are the applications which we'll be using, which will be installing for our penetration testing. There are few of the applications which we need to install. For example, SSL pinning bypass, right? Jailbreak detection bypass, and there are many more like that. We will be installing FreeDAB, right? Objection framework. All of those specific things will be installing, so that whenever we are doing the application penetration testing, typically those specific applications will be requiring to go forward and modify the functions, or to use those specific functionalities during the time, like during our test cases in the testing as well. Okay, so the main agenda for today is to jailbreak your device. Why actually it is required? Because whenever we are having a jailbroken device, right, then only we'll be able to start up with our penetration testing, right? So that is the main reason why we'll be doing that. So typically I will be like we will be going through step by step process on your jailbreaking, and we will be conducting that particular process, right, in your device. Okay, and once it is done, majorly like today's agenda will be that, and in our next session we'll be understanding how actually, like, what all are the applications which will be requiring in our Mac, right, in our iOS device, right, the jailbroken device, and how we will be able to an overall functionality of those specific applications, and then we'll be able to start up with our static analysis, then we'll be going with dynamic analysis, and then we'll be going with the reverse engineering as well. Okay, so this is overall what we are having as an agenda. You can share your screen, and then we will start up with jailbreaking your device as well.
Yeah, actually, I had a problem that is last week, Sunday, I was unable to attend the class.
Yep, yep,
I
yeah.
also spoke to Himanshu about it, and
Okay.
he said that like the class will be repeated. So is it because only I am there in today's meeting? So is it possible that
No,
we
that
can
is what
have?
we are doing. So typically in our last session, we were having the same agenda, that
Okay,
jailbreaking. So there are few candidates who had joined. So we had jailbroken their
okay,
devices. So today, like, we will be like you were left, so we will be doing in your device likewise. So there
okay,
is no
and
other topics which we
yeah,
have. So this
okay.
is the same.
But but what I am facing is the iPhone that I was using is actually the port is, I think, is malfunctioning and it's not connecting. And also due to that, I was unable to charge the device and it's switched off.
Oh,
So once I have already jailbroken, so like I can jailbreak this another time also when the port will be uh, set nicely. So. Uh,
do you have any other cable or anything like
Yeah, I tried with two of the cables, but none of them are actually working. The cable is working because whenever I connect to laptop, the sound is coming for the connection, but the iPhone isn't responding. So I think there might be a problem with the port.
okay, okay, okay. Okay, sure. So, do you want me to take up next whole topic, and then
Yeah,
you will be jailbreaking? That is what you are suggesting.
yeah.
Okay. Sure, sure. So yeah, we can do that. So once it is like once your iPhone is up and running,
Yeah,
definitely do let me know. We will be
yes,
able to
sure.
we will take a separate topic and we will jailbreak it.
Yeah, surely.
So meanwhile, what I will do is I will just um I will just we will see the next thing, which will be the installation of our particular applications which we'll be using, right? So that is what we'll be taking. Just give me a minute. I will
Yeah, yeah,
connect
sure.
my device and then we can proceed with that.
Also, I had one more thing to ask. As in the previous session, you said that we will be getting the material,
Yep,
the PPTs that you are sharing.
yep.
So, we will be getting it within 1 week, right?
Yeah, yeah. Within 1 week, you will be getting. Management will be sharing you the recorded sessions and all those things.
Okay,
So,
but for
yep.
the last two sessions, we didn't get any material or recording. So,
You can check with management. Actually, they are handling. I also will not be having the access to the recorded sessions, so you
oh,
can
okay,
yeah, check with them. In case if it is not shared with you, they will be
hmm,
sharing it with you. So you can just
okay,
check with them. They will be able to provide you with the details.
okay, yeah,
But definitely you'll be getting all the materials. You'll be getting the ppts. You will be getting the session recorded sessions as well. And in case while we are um, having this while we are having this applications, right? What all applications we are testing, so those specific applications also you will be getting, so all those things will be getting.
okay, okay.
So we will start it. I will just share back my screen. Yep. So again, this is the same iPhone which we had jailbreaked in our last session, right? So here you can see Chakran is there, okay, and it has already CDI installed, right? So here you can see CDI is already installed. Now, what actually is CDI? Typically, CDI is a third-party app store type of application, which gives us all those applications which will be helping us to do our test cases. Okay, so if we just go to our sources, typically you will be able to get all the repositories from where it will be able to fetch those third party applications. And here in the changes you'll be able to get what all applications are these third party applications are already installed, right, in the changes and install. So basically we'll be able to get all of those details, and within the search option you'll be able to search it across any of those specific applications which we will be which we need to install. So that is the main thing. The first thing which we need to confirm is whether our phone is connected with Wi-Fi or not. So here you can see I have connected my phone with the Wi-Fi, right? So that we will be able to fetch the details and we'll be able to install the application as well. Now, what actually are the list of applications which we'll be installing? So again, all the step-by-step process is already available within the resource which I will be sharing, right? But currently, I will be showing you those specific things and why actually it is required. Okay, all those applications will be installing it from CDI itself in the same way which I am showing you now. But again, the same thing will be available, and you will be able to install it from there itself, and you will not face uh, any of the errors or challenges. The first one which will be installing is Big Boy's recommended tools. Now, what actually is this one? Typically, uh, these are those specific list of applications which they are having, and which normally they have collected to do the penetration testing. Okay, so there is some party and they have named themselves as Big Boss, and they are recommended. They have prepared a repository of the list of tools, which will be helping you. What are the normal tools which will be available here? The network configurations tools, right? SSH, right? All of those specific type of tools are already available here, right? And we'll be able to use, like, majorly use this particular tools which they are having, and we'll be able to we will be able to conduct our penetration testing as well. Here, if you are not having this particular list of tools, right, by default installed in your system, typically instead of modify, you'll be having install button on the top right menu, right? So currently I'm clicking on modify, but typically here you'll be getting install. Once you click on install, below there will be install button, something like this. We'll just click on install. Okay, and it will be installed. So once we are confirming it, currently here what happens is it is already available, right? So it is not showing me anything. Okay, but here it will be coming up as confirm. Okay, once we click on confirm, all those specific tools, right? So these are the tools, right? These are the tools. All these tools will be installed, right? What all are those specific tools? So first one is EPR, right? EPR will be used for our networking commands with from Mac to iPhone, right? Class dump basic commands, right? All the Linux based commands will be installed. Class dump will be there, which will be useful for us to dump the app file from the IPA. Developer commands. Okay, Erica utilities will be again similar to network execution commands, execution from our iPhone. File system commands and all of those specific type of commands will be available, and will be able to install the same thing, right? We just need to click on install here. So here there will be the install button. We'll click on install, and once it is available, right, we'll be able to install here. Okay, so likewise, so currently here you can see we are having in my system, like in my device, it is already there. That's why I'm having modify, but otherwise you'll be able to see as installed. Second one will be network commands. Again, this will be by default coming with Big Boss recommended tools, but yeah, it is better to just install it separately as well, so that we do not miss on any particular type of a separate command which might be useful for us. Okay, so we will just type network commands. Okay, we will go to that. Here we will click on install, and we will proceed. We will install that. Next one is bootstrap commands. Bootstrap commands will be useful for us to extract out the specific assembly level code. Okay, while execution from the application. Okay, so typically those specific commands will be added within our device, and we can execute those specific commands as well. So we will enter bootstrap, and here you can see bootstrap command is there. Okay, we'll click on install. Once it is done, here we will be going forward, and we will click on install, and once it is done, typically what will happen is it will get installed within few seconds itself. And here you can see the size of that applications, right? It will be less than 1 MB as well, right? So it will not be a huge application which is available. Next one will be developer commands. Again, this one also will be available. Developer commands and this dev commands will and Erica utilities, file commands. This all things will be by default available with the Big Boss recommended tools itself. But yeah, it is better to check whether it is there or not. So here, if you are getting, like, once you are installing Big Boss recommended tools, so typically what will happen is by default here you will be getting modify. So if you are getting modify, means it is properly installed, you don't need to do anything else. But yeah, in case if you are getting installed here, typically what will happen is you can just install that. We'll also cross verify developers commands. So here you can see developer cmds, it is already there, so we are not again installing it, right? So many times what happens is for a few seconds, right? Sometimes one or two of those specific tools might be available or might not be available. So at that point of time, it is better to check, because this will be very much helpful for us during our particular testing as well, right? In case if any of the tool is not working there, typically what will happen is we might not be able to properly do our testing as well. Next one is file CMDs. So we will go ahead and we will enter file hyphen CMD. So again, it is available. And then last one is GAWK, right? Now GAWK is the one where we will be able to implement AWK. Again, this will be coming by default itself. Give me a minute. I will just take some water actually. Just a minute. And I will be back. So give me a minute. Hey, sorry for that. So, yep. So these are the first few applications which we will be having within our particular device as well. Now, the next thing is IO kit tools. Again, this will be already available, but we need to confirm if it is there or not. So basically here you can see IO kit tools. Again, by default, it will be coming up, but we will be confirming it as in case if there are some issues, right? Definitely, we will be able to install it later on. What actually IOKit will be doing, typically whatever are the hardware things which will be accessed by the application, right? So those specific things it will be taking up, and it will be validating whether those details are what actually are the things which applications are accessing, right? And will be able to try to modify or dump those specific details from the application as well. Next one is link identifier editor, right? What actually this particular tool will be doing, it will be giving us the specific code snippet, right, of which particular function will be utilizing like which code snippet is utilizing which functionality. Okay, and we will be able to dump that within the real time. So for example, I'm executing something like here I'm executing any of the application. Let's assume I'm opening app store or any of the third party applications, right? So first time it requires something like authentication and those kind of things, right? So basically link identifier editor will be able to exactly give us that code snippet, right, which is responsible for authentication, right? We'll be able to dump it, we'll be able to modify it, all of those things will be able to do that. Next one is this particular commands which are specific to system level and network level commands. Okay, so first one is Mac. So Mac will be used to go forward and build our particular environments, right? So basically whenever we are executing, typically Mac will be used, so we will just make sure that it is already there. Okay, this will not be coming up with the big boss tool set, right? So typically we need to install it separately. The next one is Nano. Nano will be our text editor, right? By default, all of these particular tools, right, this Linux commands will not be available within our device, right? Once you are installing it, then only it will be able, then only it will be accessible. So Nano will be text editor for our terminal. So typically whenever we are opening, if we want to open any particular file, either it might be from the application or any place, anywhere within the device, typically what will happen is we'll be able to use nano to get that particular details. Then unrar and unzip. So definitely you will be knowing what actually is unrar, right? It will be used to extract the files, right? And same thing goes with unzip. Both of them will be requiring, because many times the application will be utilizing separate compression algorithm. If it is not if it is not able to be extracted by unrar, we will be able to use unzip for that. The next one will be syslog command line. What actually is this one? So typically here you can see this is the syslog command line. What actually will be done here, whenever we are executing all of those specific things within the device, all those things will be logged. So whenever, in case if we are having any of the issues, right, within our application, typically what will happen is it will be able to show us the log and will be able to identify that where actually the things messed up. Next one will be zip, right? So this will be used to zip any particular things within the device, and later on we can extract it and all of those things. Typically here, this zip will be used to compress some things, the files. Next one will be OpenSSH. Now OpenSSH will be very much useful for us, right? Because whenever we want to do any kind of things within our static analysis or dynamic analysis, we need to take control of our device to our Mac, right? So basically that control will be taken up by via SSH, right? So in case if we are not having open SSH, we'll not be able to take the remote access of the device, and we will not be able to um, um, we will not be able to start up with our testing as well. So this will be very much useful for us. And if we are not having, we will not be able to do any step within our testing as well. Next one is OpenSSL. So OpenSSL will be used to validate what all are the encryption algorithms which are used while communicating from our device to application server. So let's assume that I'm using here App Store, right? And here I am going forward and I'm utilizing this application, right? So the communication will be happening from my device to the server, right? It will be in an encrypted format. So basically OpenSSL will be used to identify which algorithm which is used, right? Whether there are any specific type of keys which are used for encryption and decryption, and whether we can decrypt those specific things or not, right? That encrypted traffic. So those specific things will be used by OpenSSL. So we can just click on OpenSSL, and typically what will happen is we'll be able to install it. Okay. Next one is APT strict, APT 1.4 strict. So typically what actually will be happening is here this application will be used for packaging. Okay, so typically whenever you are installing, you can just use this EPT itself. Okay, if you are not directly getting this full thing, there will be the EPT. You can just click on that, we can install it. And the current version is 1.8, so it is much more updated, right? So we can install that, there is no issue with that one. So what actually this tool will be doing, it will be the it will be used to for packaging, right? So once we have modified our particular code, right? After that, we want to install and we want to compile that application, right? Their APT will be used. If we want to download some other third-party tools within the device, their APT will be used. If you want to remove any particular process or remove any particular type of tool, APT will be used, right? If we want to kill some processes, APT will be used, right? So APT will be used there like within that for that particular functionalities within our device. Next one is Git. So Git will be used to go forward and check what all are the things which are available within the application which has the Git repositories, right? We will be able to upload, right, push and pull the detailed data from the Git hub, right? So typically, for example, today I require some kind of third-party script within the device so that I can execute it and I can get those details. So Git will be used in that particular place, right? We can easily use Git to download and upload, push and pull the repositories and then their data. Next one is preferences loader and app list. So typically preferences loader will be used to for us to have the settings, right, and update the settings within the settings bundle. Now settings bundle is an application which will be used to store the contents of the applications, right? So there, for example, if I'm using Twitter, right, and first time it has asked me that which is my preferred language, I select English, right? Later on it will show all the things within English itself, right, within this language itself. Similar way, there are multiple things which will be added as our preference. All those things will be available within the settings bundle. Now what will happen is there might be some scenarios where the application has stored some kind of sensitive data within this place as well. So there we will be using the preference loader. Next one is app list. So app list will be used to display all the list of applications, and we can select a lot more details, right? It will be having the process ID, the path of it, all of those specific things will be available within the app list itself. So these are the tools which we'll be installing within our device. Any doubts, any queries, anything till now? One thing is, all these things we have downloaded from CDR, right? Now, if you are following the same method, which is with the use of check run or the other two methods which I have shared it with you over resources, typically CDR will be by default installed. So you do not have to install CDR separately. By default, CDR will be available and will be able to use the same as well for installing all of those details, right? So any doubts, any queries till now?
No, no queries.
Yes. Next one is will what all are the things which will, like, tools which will be requiring within our MacBook, right, to complete our testing. So there are few of the tools which will be installing here so that we can get those specific details as well, right? So typically the first thing is within our Mac operating system, the first which we will be installing is iExplorer. Okay. Now what actually is iExplorer? Okay. So basically, typical when it comes to iExplorer, it will be allowing us to like view the contents of the applications which are currently available as an IPA file. So I will show it to you. So from here, like, all the links and everything is already provided, right? So typically you will not be requiring anything else. Now what actually it will be doing, it will allow us to access the details from our device, right? What are the applications we can install a third party IPA file within the device via iExplorer. Okay. So typically I have recompiled, I have changed the front end code of the application, I have recompiled that file into a IPA file. Okay, I have recompiled that application, the modified application. Now that I cannot upload to App Store and all of those things, right? But I want to install it in my device itself. So I can use iExplorer, right, to go forward and take that IPA file and install it in my device, right? That third party IPA file. So that is the main reason why we'll be doing that. We will click on download. Okay. If we will allow here, it will quickly start downloading, and it is somewhere around 34-35 MB of file. We will be able to quickly that particular data, and we will just double click on it. It will just ask us to change from here to here. We'll just do that. All the applications within Mac will be done like that itself. Once it is done, we will eject that and we are good to go. Now if we search iExplorer, we'll be able to utilize that application as well. So we will just allow the permissions for it to open. and we are good to go. So here you can see uh, iExplorer. Now what we'll do, we will go ahead and we will continue with demo. And here you can see that my phone is already connected and all the things are available, right? The applications, media, cloud, and all those things are already available. Here you will be able to get the details. Now if I want to install any IPA file, just I can drag and drop that IPA file here and that file will be installed, right? So that is how things will be working in iExplorer. This will be very much helpful for us whenever we are modifying the application and we want to install it, or we have gotten some kind of testing file and we want to install it, right? So that is the place where iExplorer will be very much helpful for us. Next one is iPhone box. iPhone box will be having the similar things, but again it will be able to go forward and give us the similar functionality. So in case if you are not able to install with the iExplorer, right, this is the second option which we will be utilizing. Again, same things, will be downloading it. So here you can see iPhone box for Mac. We will just download the latest version, we'll allow it, we will open, and again here also you can see this is 1.5 MBs. We'll just execute it. Okay, we can allow that settings and we will be able to I will be able to install the same thing. Okay, again it is having the same details and will be able to utilize the same thing. Next one is burp suit. Now here we will not be requiring burp suit professional, we can just use the normal version of burp suit, right, community version, and it is perfectly fine for us. Now definitely as you are penetration tester from like previously itself and you have already done the other application testing, definitely you'll be aware of burp suit and you might have already available it like the same application within your device. So basically the same thing will be requiring for proxy things as well. So currently it is already there within my system, so we will just open burp suit community edition, and then we will see how we can configure our device. So we will just click on start the application. Okay, we will go to proxy and we will go to proxy settings. Okay, now here we will add one proxy listener. So we'll click on add and then we will click on specific address. Okay, or we can click on all interfaces, but typically I will recommend a specific address. Okay, and then we will see now what how we can get the specific address from our iPhone. So let us check that. So first thing is both of your devices should be in the same network. So here you can see my Wi-Fi name is Alexa 1, right, within my Mac. I will go to my settings of my phone and I will just confirm that. So I will go to Wi-Fi and here you can see I'm in the same network, right? If you are not in the same network, definitely this is not going to work. Okay, many times I get people telling that we this is not happening. Okay, why it is not happening? Because definitely they might have missed or connected to this other network. Now here we'll be checking. So here you can see the IP address of this device is 192.168.0.125. So in the specific address we'll select that, and many times it might be available, many times it might not be available, or it might be showing you within this MAC address type of thing. Okay, if that is the scenario, what we'll do is we will click on all interfaces and we will set up one of the port number. Okay, port number can be anything, any of the port number. Okay, there is no limitation, you can enter any port number from 1 to 65,535 because that is the range of the port number. Currently I will enter 12345 as our port number. Okay, 12345. So it will constantly monitor that particular port number whether there is any request which is coming up or not. We will click on OK. Okay, and we will click on do you want to it will just ask us for our confirmation, so we will click on yes. So once it is done, here you can see star and 12345, right? So basically here our burp suite is listening to all the requests which are coming to this particular port number. Okay, now what we will be doing is we will just go ahead and we will set up the same thing within our device as well. So we will click on close here. Okay, now within our device, what we will do is here below last option, which is configure proxy, it is off right currently. So we will go to manual, and here we will enter the IP address. Okay, so the server IP address means the IP address of this system. How we can get it? We can just go to system settings of our MacBook. Okay, we will go to Wi-Fi, and within Wi-Fi, whatever network we are connected to, right? We will just go to details, and we will be able to identify what is the IP address. So here you can see 192.168.0.124. So we'll enter the same thing, 192.168.0.124. Okay, now the port number should be same what we had configured. So it was 12345, right? So here also we'll be doing that. Authentication, we will be keeping it as off because we don't want this to be an obstacle while we are testing, right? If we are having if we are having any of the authentication, typically it will again ask us every time to authenticate, right? And then only we can proceed further. So for now we will just disable this authentication. We will click on save. Okay, now once it is done, right, still the request will not be captured. Okay, all those requests which are HTTP. So basically currently you can see I will be able to open any normal site. For example, if I'm having google.com, right, I will be able to access it. Okay, but here what is happening is typically this particular thing, right, this um application does not have like HTTPS enabled, right? So what will happen is here it will not be properly shown to us. So if we go to the logs, right, our proxy logs, or that or we if we just check, so here you will not be able to see those specific things, right, what all requests are coming. So to do that we just need to go forward and install the certificate within our device, so that HTTPS request can also be taken up. So what we'll do, we will enter HTTP colon slash slash burp, will send go. Okay, let me just turn off this, and then we will do that again once more. Let me just remove it once more. So that is one way. The second way is to go forward and extract it and do it. But so here you can see we had turned off our intercept and it worked, right? Now here, if we maximize the screen on the top right, right? So this is the normal, right? So top right, we will be having one thing called CA certificate. We'll click on CA certificate. Okay, and it will download that particular certificate for our iPhone. So we will just wait for a few seconds, okay, for it to download that. And once it is downloaded, right, so here you can see it is asking us to allow, right? So what we'll do, we will click on allow. Now here you can see profile is downloaded. We will click on close. Now where actually we will go to install that, we will go to settings. So in settings, if we go to the main menu, here you will be able to find this option, which is profile downloaded. So we'll click on profile downloaded, and here you will be able to see 𝗏𝗔𝗶𝗶 CA, right? This is the one which will be taking up. So 𝗏𝗔𝗶𝗶 CA. We will click on install. It will give us all those things. We will just click on install. We will click on install. Okay, once it is done, so basically here you can see 𝗏𝗔𝗶𝗶 CA is already there, like it is installed now. So now whenever we are having our particular verb suite, right, we will be able to intercept all the requests which are coming from the application. So let me just turn on the intercept, and now I will go to any of the applications, let's see if it is google.com. Okay, it should be available here, right? For first time it might take few seconds, but after that it will be available and we will be able to get that. Okay, so for the first 1 or 2 times it might not be giving, but once it is currently set up, we'll be able to go forward and get the details. So likewise, now many times in case if you are not still getting those details, you can just change the port number from both of the places, because that port number might not already been occupied for some of the place. So what we can do is we can just enter some another port number, for example 1337 or anything like that. Okay, and we can just confirm that the IP address is correct for our server or not, right, of our server for not. So basically, for example, uh, in this one, right, 124, and we can just check it if it is 124 or not. Here, Wi-Fi details. So here you can see the IP address is 124, right? So that is what we need to confirm. Once both of those things are confirmed and both of the places, now once we had changed that, here also in proxy settings also we can configure it. So here we can just enter 137. Let me just redo that part. Okay, and we are good to go. We will be able to build it. So likewise, we can just go ahead and take all those specific encrypted traffic which is coming from the application. All of those specific things will be already be available, right? We just need, like, once we are configuring, we just need to wait for few seconds for it to complete, and then we will be able to see those specific details as well, right? Any of the application which is sending the traffic, HTTPS traffic, will be able to get that as well, likewise. So this is what we'll be able to do for the configuration for sending the encrypted traffic as well. Now, the last thing which we'll be installing within our Mac is Hydra application. Now, what actually is Hydra? Typically, this application will be used to debug, right, any particular IPF file. So you can just go to Hydra. We will just click on download it from GitHub. Okay, whatever is the latest version, we'll just select that. So this is the one, and basically it will install. In my system it is already there, so I'm not currently installing it. But yeah, basically this is what we'll be doing in our last part, which is the reverse engineering part. So we will just download, we will just open the IPF file, we'll be able to see the code of the application, we'll be able to modify it, right? We'll be able to understand how the functionalities will be working. So all of those things will be there. Okay, so any doubts, any queries, anything till now?
No.
Okay. Now next thing is taking the SSH to the device. Okay, so basically how we can connect for those specific things within our system, right, within our device. So how we will be doing? So typically the first thing should be that whenever we are trying to get this shell, right, we will be using our terminal to get the shell. One of the thing which we will be doing is typically that device which we will be having, right, should be in the same network, right? So as we have confirmed that both of them are in the same Wi-Fi connection. Okay, and the device should be connected via cable, right, to our laptop. So both of those conditions should be there. Then what we will be doing is we'll be entering SSH, then root at the rate the IP address of our phone, right? So basically we will be entering SSH and then root or mobile, okay, or the name of that user, okay, and then IP address. So in this scenario, the IP address is 170.168.10.125. So if we are using it for the first time, we'll just enter mobile at the rate the IP address, so 192.168.0.125. We'll enter that. So for first time it will take few seconds to take that. Okay, but the default ID and password will be alpine and alpine. Okay, so this is the password and username. So we will wait for a few seconds. So anyhow, this particular thing we are going to do it in our next session once we are starting up with our static analysis. Okay, and I will show this particular thing once again. So basically we will be able to do that. But yeah, just to show you like how we can take the device access. So basically this is the one. But again, after that we'll be able to go forward and install multiple things within any of the scripts if we want, right? We'll be able to unzip all the details, right? So all of those specific things will be available within the device. Okay, so likewise, this is how we will be able to configure our device, right, to complete the penetration testing. Any doubts, any queries, anything till now?
No, nothing as such.
Okay, so that was the main agenda. So the main agenda for today was we were supposed to take our first half to do the jailbreaking on your devices. So you and any of the other person who has not done the jailbreaking, so we were supposed to do that, and then we were supposed to install this particular tools. Okay, next thing is to start the static analysis. Okay, but hopefully like if you guys are having the device properly set up, it will be much more easy for you to practice, and it will be much more helpful for you to complete the assignments as well, right? So in case like if you're facing this port error, right, or basically any of the issue, right? So just check it, like if it can get resolved right quickly, it will be much more helpful for your practice as well. Okay, so that will be one of my recommendation. But any other doubts, any queries, anything else?
No.
So
Like for that
yeah,
thing, I have to install those things and then I'll let you know if I have any doubt anywhere.
sure. You can try it on by yourself. And in case if you are
Yeah,
facing any
yeah.
challenge, right? Definitely within our
Yes.
sessions or within any of the feasible time, we can connect and we can
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, sure.
So I will again, like I will check with the management, right, in case if they have missed your access to the drive. And
Yeah.
yeah, I will try to update you, but from your end also, you can check with management on the updates on of this resources of the session.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. So that was it for today's session. Okay, what we will be doing in our next session is to like start up with our static analysis. Okay, and then we will understand what actually will be the test cases which we can perform within the applications as well. Okay,
Okay.
so it was great to have you today. Let us join in our next session, and then we will understand the next things as well. Bye.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Bye.